Hey friends, here I am in Calvinos. Left Tamar really early this morning, and I'm already 2 hours into the journey and about a third of the way to my destination. This is a long day. It's one of these 20 plus mile days, but in addition to it being a long day, it's a day that kind of goes like this. You'll see from some of my pictures there's 10% grade at different points, so it is some real rigorous workout for my butt, which is disappearing, by the way, with all these miles. So the topic today is breathing into your flow. You know, resistance is a pretty awesome thing. Sometimes resistance gets a bad rap. Sometimes resistance is seen as something that we always need to take as a sign that we're not responding freely and of spirit in the present moment. But sometimes resistance is like a little spur to get us moving. And I had a chance last night to both act on my resistance and to then breathe into a flow to dissolve my resistance. I was in Tamar, and where I was staying was a private room in a small little hotel, but it just happened to be a place where they must have booked a lot of people who were staying out late, and they were really loud. Most places, it's quiet hours are from 10 p.m. on. There was a group one door down from me of some young girls that were up, and they were loud, and they were having so much fun, and I loved hearing them have so much fun, but I was also trying to get to sleep. Well, by about 2:30 in the morning, and again, I'm getting up at 5:30 to walk 20 miles, there is resistance building up in my body because I'm thinking, I need the sleep. My body needs the sleep. How am I going to walk all this way? And I had these messages that don't help me, like, I'm older, I need my sleep, I'm not in great shape, I need my sleep. I had all these reasons that were adding fuel to my resistance. And I wasn't angry at the girls. I just was really longing for quiet. So by about 3 in the morning, I went and I knocked on their door, and they spoke only Portuguese, so they couldn't understand me. They didn't open the door, and I just said, hablas inglés? I was asking them if they speak English in my broken Spanish, and I said, please, quiet, please, quiet. I wake up in 2 hours. I was waking up in 2 hours to walk. So I got back to my room, and I was still hearing this loud, kind of boisterous fun. They'd probably been out drinking. Probably this is a girls' night out for them. And at that point, I realized that I had acted in a really good way on my resistance. My resistance to what was happening spurred me into good action, and that was to act on my own behalf for something that was fair to ask for. At that point, since when I acted, nothing changed, it was time then for me to say, okay, well then how am I going to go forward? Am I going to let the resistance keep building in me? Or am I going to try to find a different way to get to sleep? And what I did is I focused on breathing in and breathing down right into my belly, because where I was getting most tense was in my abdomen. It was kind of getting all, and each time I breathed down, it was like a force going whoa, down into my body. Whoa. It took me away from where my mind was fueling any resistance. It took me away from the way my body was waking up more at 3 a.m. and it was drawing me deeper into the waters of sleep. And after I did that breathing for, I don't know, about 10 or 15 times, I fell asleep. And then I got 2 good hours of sleep before I got up to continue the Camino. So there is a time to act on your resistance and let it to spur you into action. And then there is a time that once you have acted and once you've given your all, to breathe into the flow, because ultimately the resistance is just between you and yourself. Ultimately, if you're still in a place that's all caught up and lacking peace and fraught with tension, it has something to do with you in relation to yourself and your perspective on things. So it was fantastic to then just let the breath take me so deep down into my body that it was like the breath wrapped me in a cocoon, in a warm blanket, and I could go to sleep. So I started out getting up at 5:30, been out on the path now. Look at this beautiful, beautiful day. This is this tiny little town, Calvinos, and I will have much up and down all day today for probably another 15 miles. I think I've gone about 15 miles or so. So I love you all. I send you every blessing. I'm carrying your intentions with me. Walk with me and breathe into your flow today. Live simply and let the simplicity of your own flow illuminate and intoxicate you. Blessings. Bye. Mwah.